Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jamie here. I want to say a very warm welcome to you, and thanks very much for joining me in this video. If you are tuning in via my group, smash that heart button, drop a hashtag live if you do happen to jump on the live, and of course, drop a hashtag replay if you do happen to catch up with the replay. Just helps with the algorithm, and I would really appreciate it as well. Likewise for YouTube, thanks very much for joining me. If this is the first time on the channel, welcome. My name is Jamie. I cover internet marketing, affiliate marketing, how to get started online, and all things digital. If any of that's of interest to yourself, feel free to hit that subscribe button, smash that bell icon to stay up to date with everything I'm putting out. And of course, drop a comment. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to learn on the channel. I'd really appreciate the feedback. Thanks very much. All right, so what I'm going to go through today is a couple of things in relation to basically just some sales psychology stuff. So it's not going to be super in depth. So you don't have to wait around for like 5 hours while I give my lecture, but hopefully at the end of it you guys are going to understand a couple of little tweaks that you might want to consider making to both your pitch, the way you're pitching people in general, and I guess the overall approach to sales in general. So anyway, like I say, I do appreciate you guys tuning in. I can see a couple of people there. Of course, the way my whole setup is, I can't actually see who's on, so I can't even greet you guys. Let's see if I can get some comments up. I don't think I can, though. No, I can't. Damn it. Oh, here's one. Here's one I prepared earlier. Check this out. Hey, pretty cool, huh? Let's get rid of that, Jamie. Man, that's crazy. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to jump right into it. Let's get started. All righty. So hopefully you guys can all see my screen all right by now. Just going to jump over there to my old presentation. Right, sales psychology 101. Let's get into it. So first and foremost, there's when it comes to sales in general, if you are out of control, you cannot control the process. And if you can't control the process, you can't control the outcome of that process, right? So I know, and I don't like necessarily using the term control. I know that maybe there's some connotations there around control, but reality is that if you have something that is incredibly awesome, that you really believe it, you're passionate about, can help people out, and you're not controlling how that conversation goes and getting the information that you need from your prospect, then you are potentially losing out on helping them with an awesome product, right? Just a little tweak of your thinking. So first and foremost, beta. What am I talking about? Beta people, beta males, beta whatever, right? So I've kind of spent my life on both sides of these equations. I'm going to describe to you both beta and alpha in a moment as well. But beta people are usually quite anxious. They are easily railroaded into certain things. They let the conversation wander. So quite often in a sales dialogue, I think Jordan Belfort actually puts this into a really good context and as part of his straight line persuasion, which is if someone is, if you've got like a train set and there's two trains and, the train tracks, and you stay within those tracks, then, it leads to a certain place down the end of that track, right? However, if you let someone deviate way too far away from that given parallel, then you kind of lost it, right? And you need to, as a salesperson, control that outcome and control where the conversation is going. So they're also very indecisive as a general rule. And it usually comes down to self-belief in a lot of cases. They tend to have low self-esteem. Not always. I mean, these are generalizations, by the way. And more often than not, a beta person will be very appeasing. And so what I mean by that is they are kind of like, they'll agree to anything. They will cut off their nose to spite their face, all in the interest of helping others type thing. And I'm not saying don't be giving, that you can't have certain traits that are like that. But in a sales environment, it's super important that we do approach it with this next part, which is being an alpha. So what does alpha mean? It means that they're usually calm. They are in control of both their own emotions to a certain degree. And I say a certain degree because I know that you can always lose control, right? But as a general rule, especially, and again, I'm being more specific to the sales dynamic, they will have control of themselves and their emotions and the actual call itself. So they won't be pushed around. So if someone's trying to railroad them and speak over the top of them, they will not let that happen. And they will, again, like I say, they will loop that back round and maintain control of the direction of the conversation and exactly where it should head. They don't let the conversation wander, which is obviously just off the back of what I just said. They don't need or seek validation. So there's a massive difference between someone getting advice about something from someone else versus validation. And a lot of the time, a beta person might be seeking validation from someone. So, hey, do you think it's okay if I do this? Who knows? Give it a shot. Whereas an alpha will just be like, yeah, I'll give it a try. What's the worst that could happen? I'm going to try that. They don't necessarily need that same social validation as well, and they take decisive action. They're pulling the trigger and they're just seeing what comes of it, right? So it's important for you guys to at least, and I know, you might have an entire lifetime of being one or the other, and I'm not saying that this is necessarily an easy thing to just switch, but in reality, that it's important that you do try at least to adopt some of those traits when you are in a sales environment to be the alpha, that is, because you always imagine that if someone comes into a sales process and you're like a very beta salesperson, and you're just letting the conversation go where it wants, you're not in control, you're not able to actually ask the questions that you need and get the information that you want, and you're just kind of like there being an information giver, and that's not really a process, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Right, so I wanted to discuss a couple of things that do influence people as well. Now, again, caveat, this is not an exhaustive list, so don't see it as such. It really is just a bit of an overview of some of the key things that I've found in my experience that do help influence people. If you do want some good reading on the subject, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's called Influence, the Science of Psychology. The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Really, really, really fascinating book. So the first one is confidence. Now, this can be confidence in the product, but again, and I'm going to cover this in the next part as well, but also confidence in yourself, and also inspiring confidence in the other person as well. And again, confidence in yourself. So it's how you project, how you, I guess, saying things, whether you're saying them, you got like really poor body language and you just kind of talk like, is it okay if you buy the thing that I really want you to buy because I need commissions and stuff? That's not something that's going to be very persuasive if you're in that frame of mind, right? Like, you want to be kind of comfortable in asking the tough questions, and like I say, that's part of the confidence thing. Also, you need to take the focus on what it can actually do for your audience as well, what it can do for your people, the prospects that you're talking to. If it's a one-on-one situation, it's not about you. That's the other thing that I speak to a lot of my students about, is that it's never about you. I mean, I know that as a high ticket salesperson, you want the commissions because we all love the money, right? You want the sale, and there's a thrill of the chase and all that sort of stuff. But realistically, if it's not a good fit for them, and if it's not something that they can see the value in, then you don't sell it to them, right? And so you got to take the focus away from you and what you want, and what they want and what they need, and how it's going to impact them, how it can help them, right? And again, you also want to maintain that control. And this is just a thing, because if you're just letting someone wander all over the place in the conversation, then you're not really taking that conversation down the path that it needs to go down in order to, like I say, get the information that you need from your prospects in order to actually have some form of control over the outcome. Right. So the other thing is that ideally you want to change that frame of mind that a lot of us have, which is I want to make a sale, because of course we want to make a sale. We want to get the money. We want to go and retire to boom and wherever. And then if you flip that switch ever so slightly, just even a little bit, even if you try, just make a conscious choice to be aware of it, if nothing else, I want to help as many people as I can with this, then all of a sudden that thing that you're promoting, and me holding my fingers like that means the awesome product. I don't know why I do that. It's a weird little mannerism I seem to have adopted. But if you have that frame of mind, then it's going to be a lot easier and a lot different to go out there and prospect and find these people, right? So hopefully that all makes sense. Right, so I want to talk about some numbers. Now, here's the thing. I think a lot of people, when they're doing the high ticket affiliate stuff in particular, and a lot of my students and a lot of the students for the Super Affiliate Accelerator, you guys will know that it is sales, and as part of sales, it's about prospecting. It's about going and finding your people. And I'm not suggesting for any moment whatsoever that you don't approach people with kindness, with empathy, with love, if you want to put it that way as well. But what I do mean is that you've got to keep your eyes on the prize. You've got to remember, like, why are you doing this? And if it's as simple as, I believe in my product, I believe it's going to help a bunch of people, then that's cool. If it's something deeper, which is my family, or I want to quit this job I really don't love, XYZ, then that's got to be part of it as well. And so the question to ask yourself is, how many sales can you make if you're not giving out your affiliate link and you're not asking people if they would like to be part of your opportunity? And I know this is such an incredibly obvious question, but I think people tend to forget that. And so they might go and reach out to 10 people, and then there's no real goal that comes off the back of that. It's like, oh, I hope I can break into a sales conversation with someone along the way. Fingers crossed. But the thing is that if you're there to do a job, then you understand how, no, I need to get something happening. I need to, like, send my affiliate link out. I need to actually ask if they'd like to be part of my opportunity. And so that way, if that becomes your goal, then it kind of changes the dynamic and the mental processing of what you're actually doing as well. And then the other thing is, and bear in mind, this is hypothetical, is like, there's going to be so many different stats with so many different programs. So I'm just trying to get you guys to kind of think of things a little bit. So if you've got a really good framework in mind that can convert people, because based on the fact that you've done it before and that you're confident in the actual process itself, it's more about having that idea and just playing the numbers, because that way, keeping in the frame of mind, like, okay, if I have a conversation with, say, 115 people, then there's going to be one person that I can convert into a sale, whether it's now, whether it's in the future, etc. So then if you know those numbers, then it becomes a lot easier, because then you're just like, okay, well, I can just do 230 conversations and I'll make 2 sales. Maybe your stats are higher. Now, again, I know this is rhetorical. I know it's a hypothetical. It's purely to get your brain thinking in that way, which is, okay, cool, it's just numbers. And when you do that, when you see that and you understand that, hang on, if I have a conversation with 500 people, let's just throw it out there. Let's say that your conversion rate's crap and you only convert 1 out of every 500 people, which is fine, by the way. I'm not judging at all, because there's going to be all sorts of reasons come into why you can or cannot make a conversion. Like, don't beat yourself up about that. But let's say it's 1 in 500. Like, out of the 7.5 billion people in the world, that's still only 500 people. Like, it's just so tiny. So if you start thinking in numbers like that, then you're like, cool, well, I just need to reach more people. How can I reach more people? How can I reach more people? And when you start thinking like that, then the frame of mind and the things that go through your brain become slightly different nuance. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. And that's it. Just a real quick one, guys. Just wanted to go through that. I'm going to come back on, and now, unfortunately, I can't see any questions. Oh, no, I do have comments. Okay, that's cool. Cool. Awesome. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to stick around for another couple of minutes. If anyone would like to ask any questions, please feel free to drop them below. It looks like I don't think I've got the old YouTubes happening here. I can see the comments from old Facebook. SA has the bee's knees. It is indeed, my man. I'm going to put that on my screen. Hope you don't mind me putting your face out there, David. It's a lovely face at that, I might add. It is the bee's knees. Yeah, it's great. Good on you. That's brilliant. Fred, appreciate you being here. Linda, joy in the house. This is my mum, by the way. Hi, Ma. How are you? It's pretty cool. I like being able to put these on the screen. Any questions, folks? I'm going to give it 1 more minute because I know there's a bit of a delay and lag there. Hopefully that just gives you guys a bit of an idea as well. Just a couple of things to think of. And for anyone that's interested, I am hosting the masterclass going into extreme depths of this type of stuff tomorrow morning, my time, which is probably tomorrow night. No, tonight, your time? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that's there if you're interested. It's called the Sales Prognosticator Masterclass. I had to look that word up, but it means someone who prophesizes or foretells the future event. So wouldn't it be good to be able to foretell the results of your sales? That's what. Kind of cool, huh? Came up with it on the spot. No questions for Jamie, apart from why he's singing now. All right, that's it. I'm obviously going crazy. I obviously need another coffee, and you guys are awesome. I appreciate you tuning in. I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me on YouTube as well. Thanks, guys.